Aloha, all my money makers out there. How you doing? And welcome to our podcast, The Hawaii Money Guy. And I want to talk to you guys about fun topic today. A man of many hats, all the different avenues of real estate there is. There is so many different things in real estate to make money at, and I want to talk about them all. I don't think one is worse than the other, and let me jump into it now. So let's do it. Just before we get started, I'd love it if you guys could subscribe below, and that way we can reach more people and just help people make their money work for them in any different way we can. Thank you guys, and let's get started in today's content. So when I started real estate early on, people told me pick a niche of real estate, pick something you're really good at, and just stick to it. And 100% agree. 100% agree. And a lot of people jump into real estate in general and don't know where to start and just become agents because that's kind of the most common way to get into real estate. And real estate's a great avenue, to jump into real estate. But there's so many other niches in real estate to really make money at. And ultimately, the biggest one is, of course, an investor. So how do you jump into it? Where do you jump into it? So let me go over some stories and all the other avenues of real estate that I'm in and I've done in it. Being a contractor is kind of where I started off. I was a construction guy. My dad's a construction guy. I love tinkering. And being a contractor is an avenue of real estate. You can fix a house, for investor, and you make your commit. You mark it up 30%, whatever. So being a contractor is a great way to experience, the construction side of it. Then you start figuring out as your contractor that you want to be the other guy on the other side, the investor side, the guy writing the checks. That's what I do. I'm a professional check writer. So a lot of contractors I know personally want to make that jump to the other side. But what ends up happening is you're so engulfed, you're so busy with what you're doing, it's hard to reinvent or learn a new process. And obviously you make a ton of money, you can be a contractor, and it's a great profession as well. But how do you jump to the other side of it all is definitely a challenge. And that's where the challenge is to get to finding a deal, finding investors, project manager. It's really a new hat. There's a story about a plumber who's a plumber is a great at his job of being a plumber. And he's a great plumber, but when he opens his own business, now he has to be a great businessman, and that's a different hat. And sometimes people are not ready to make that change, or it's just out of their skill set. And that's, I think, what the hard part of any change is to be. And in this business in general, I have to have a man of many hats. You have to be... I'm literally, learning about marketing all the time and all the different avenues of marketing, online presence, starting a company, how to talk to banks and being a professional at talking with banks. There's its own little thing, working with escrows, and you have all these hats, being a salesman, finding investors and figuring out the marketing side of all of that. So you have all these different hats. Of course, construction and talking with contractors and being a man of many hats. So that's kind of the hard part of the whole deal with this whole thing we're talking about. The most common way is to become an agent. And it's kind of the simplicity way of it all, where you want to get into real estate, you don't know where to start, so why don't I just go get my license, and that should teach me something, The license itself doesn't teach you nothing about real estate. It's just the legal side of it all. My wife is actually a real estate agent, and as she was taking her test, I'm not an agent, by the way. As she was taking a test, she was asking me all the questions or the study questions, and I would answer, help her through the whole process. Even though I'm not an agent, I've been doing it for 10 years, so I know most of the answers already if I wanted to take the test. Some of the legal jargon maybe I may miss, but really becoming an agent is a great way to maybe learn some illegal stuff. But really, it's not going to teach you about MB investors. I mean, that's what a lot of people do get into real estate, to be financially free, right? That's what we're looking to be. We're looking to find a lifestyle where we can be our own boss or work on our own terms. I didn't want to become an agent. One, I want to be the investor making, the 97% of the deal, not the 3%. And I felt like being an agent, I was still working for somebody else, which you are. You're working for the investor. You are your own company, of course. Then you get to choose your own clients, but ultimately you have to keep on finding new people to work for, new clients. Um, so you are still in the kind of service industry for a client. I mean, technically, I'm in the service industry. I got to find new deals. I got to find more leads. I got to find more houses. So I'm always looking for more leads in that way. So we're always searching as well. But being a realtor is a little less risky. Obviously, you find a client, you find a deal, and help them buy a house or help them sell a house. You don't have the risk per se in the business, and that's with that said, risk equals reward, right? So if you're an agent, you have a lot less risk, obviously. So it's a little different mindset than when you're an investor, and you can make a lot of money being an agent. And any agent out there, this is the next thing you should be doing. You should learn about wholesaling. I think that would help every agent out there. I've talked to a lot of agents out there, and some of the basic things they don't know about, which is taught in wholesaling. And wholesaling is another niche in this industry that people in the mainland are making a killing. We have a wholesaling nationwide company right now, and we wholesale nationwide. And we are not making a killing in wholesaling, but we've done a lot of them, and we've bought and sold and wholesale dealers ourselves a lot here in Hawaii. And wholesaling is basically getting a contract, get a house off the market under contract, and assigning that deal to somebody else and making an assignment fee. And doing so, you have a lot less risk because you're not actually buying the house. You're just putting a contract, selling that contract off. But with that said, an agent could learn from wholesalers by that wholesaler is finding a lot more deals than agents do. They are doing mass amounts of marketing. When we wholesale deals, we have huge marketing budgets and huge forms of marketing, from skip tracing the lead. Then we take that lead, that huge list, I should say, and we'll cold call it, we'll text blast it, we'll do mailing campaigns to it, we'll do all different sorts of campaigns to attract that lead, not just the normal cold calling. So cultivating leads that way. And then we do a lot of PPC, pay-per-click stuff, text blasting. So all of these different forms of getting a lead in, ultimately getting a deal in. And then as we have man of many hats, we can wholesale that deal off, we can buy that property and fix it, or we can refer it to an agent to sell it. So taking advantage of a lead a lot more than somebody else would. So an agent can learn a lot from a wholesaler. So if you're an agent out there, go watch some videos on wholesaling, understand the basics. We'll make a YouTube or video on it here shortly for you guys, just on wholesaling in general. It would just only help you guys. It's definitely a great industry. People make killings at it. Being an investor, of course, that's a huge part of the industry. Huge part of the industry, more so than you realize. So an investor is just somebody who's invests their money passively, privately. This is great for somebody who's successful what they do. Doctors, lawyers, whatever your succession is, and you're great at that, but you need a vehicle to generate more wealth with your money than just sitting in the bank. I mean, investing in real estate obviously is by far the best, the safest and best vehicle I can think of. If you think stocks and crypto is better, love to hear your comments on why so. But generally, real estate stands the test of time, kind of thing. It's something that just 30 years from now, real estate's always going to be there. It's always going to be needed. You're going to look smart owning real estate for 30 years, whatever it may be. So being an investor, being a passive investor, is a great vehicle for people who are successful at what they do in life and just want a vehicle for them. And that's where we bring in investors and we make that vehicle for them. We're good at finding the deal. We're good at finding the flip or the rental property. And then we can bring in investors, make a good return for them, and then we partner together basically. We're good at finding the deal, the investor's good at making money elsewhere, so it's a good partnership basically. There is tons of investors out there where it's almost probably actually the biggest industry of the whole thing. People may not realize, but all these hard monies and these different funds and all these sources of money really ultimately come from all investors' money. So even if you're a small guy out there, there's some huge investors as well that make this whole wheel work of how to do it. And you can even do some smaller investments too. You can invest in some crowdfunding where they literally like do, I think up to like $10 or $100 you can invest into a crowd fund where they buy properties and stuff like that. So that's a nice, great wheel. Of course, house flippers. I'm a house flipper. We've been doing it since 2013. We've done over 120. We're the largest here in Hawaii. We love house flipping. That's kind of our bread and butter. We have a great team behind us, and people come and go in our team, and we're super excited. Just the people that we've had with us and joined together to help grow and learn together. There's also commercial and multifamily too, and that's where we're at today. We've been buying a lot of commercial and multifamily stuff ourselves, and we bring investors, and we're able to add value and refinance and get our investors' money back really quickly within a year or less on some of our stuff. And we're able to find these great deals, of course, and add our value, bring our investors to partner with us, get a great return for them, and flip it, sell it, fix it up, raise values, whatever we may do, refinance it, get our money back to our investors as quick as possible. That's the name of the game for me, is the velocity of money. The quicker I can move money, the more I can do. So that's a great way to do it. There's other forms of this business, creative financing to structured deals. You can be specialty in creative financing. You can be a guy, many hats, just finding deals in one certain way. Maybe you're just a great at finding deals with foreclosures, for example. Where all the foreclosures, you can find all the foreclosed deals, and that's how you find deals. You can be a specialty in this industry and make just certain, money that way and be successful that way, of course. But to me, man of many hats, you got to be able to do it all or have it all, and not necessarily you're focused too broad. It's just more they all correlate with each other. I have people that I make affiliate markets from, or that I work together and we make from each other and stuff like that, or whatever it may be. We make it so we have many, jack of all trades, kind of one-stop shop, I guess you can say, is the goal that we try to do. We have a hard money lending company where we lend out money as hard money lenders as well, and so check us out there. But why is this relevant to all you guys out there? I think the relevance is that you're going to get into the industry of real estate, not know where to start, or you may be into it already and not knowing how to scale, or you just want to be involved in it. And there's so many different avenues. You want to be a flipper, wholesaler, investor, buy and hold guy, an agent. Where do I start? Ultimately, we are all looking for that financial freedom per se, and that financial freedom is what our end goal is. Pretty much everyone, I should say. So how are you going to achieve that goal? And I would say work backwards to what your goals are. I would write your goals on paper. I have a friend who doesn't want to work and just wants to spend every moment with his family and friends, or another friend just wants to travel and see the world and not have to work. So if you can be a passive investor in a deal and make money, that's a great way. Or find a avenue where that would take you to that goal, buying a lot of rentals maybe, or something, buying a group, a team up with a bunch of investors like us. Would be a great goal to get there, or just getting a bunch of rentals. Rentals is not as easy as passive you may seem, and it does take a lot of them to really kind of get financially free, really financially free. So that is not truly as passive as you may think it may be, and it does take a lot of work. It's not an overnight success, and I don't think 5 or 10 even is enough really of rental properties. I think you kind of need more to really be secure, making money. So how do you start? Where do you start? For me, I was just wanted to figure out where I kind of get the most bang for my buck, and then flipping here in Hawaii, we can really make the most out of it. But it is a full-time job. It takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of effort to get deals and so forth, and to really kind of figure that out. But to figure out your own path, write it down, and then kind of go with it. I just want to take a quick second, and if you're enjoying our content, please subscribe below. I love it if you guys can leave us a review or a comment, or let me know what you guys thought. I love honest feedback, and I love hearing what you guys think. Let's jump into our segment 1. So now for the investor insight. We post weekly on our social media, and we ask followers for questions, or we ask followers to comment and ask us stuff below. And so shout out to all your followers out there, all the people that commented and ask questions out there. And our question of the week is, Indar, is there a way that you could mentor me? And believe it or not, I get this question a lot. A lot comes and goes. Sometimes I'll have like 5-10 people a week that want to, just learn, take me to lunch or take me to coffee, or, pick my brain or learn how this process works. And we haven't had any program or anything like that, but we just created our own education program, and we're going to start doing pre-releases to it, and we're going to have a education program out there for you guys, especially for the Hawaii people, or just nationwide. And it's going to be a broad sense of a program. We're not going to be niched into one industry. We'll have covered all the different industries of real estate, and that way you can learn as well different industries of what it takes and how to do this business. And the goal ultimately for me is to help everyone to achieve more and to help succeed in life. And if I can help everyone flip a house a year, sell a wholesale deal a year, something to really offset what you were doing, and be successful. That's the true goal to me. Is there's abundance, there's enough for everyone to go around. So I have an education program coming. Get ready for that. We are filming, we are making content for you guys. It is a lot of filming we've been doing, and we'll have that for you guys. Get ready for that, and stay tuned. So for deal of week, we are still trying to wrap up our Janesville property deal. So any investors who want to join us on a deal for this great property, should be about 6 months, a year, maybe longer. We're going to basically buy it at our value is already there, refinance, and get all our investors' money back. It's a 12% return. Jump on in with us. It's a straight, easy, really simple deal to be involved in. It's a straight return, quick and easy. So love to you to be a part of it. Please message me. And so thank you guys all for coming out. Thank you guys for listening. I love to get back to you guys. So please comment. Please write some questions in my comments, or even in my social media, and ask some really true-hearted questions. If you want to personally DM me, I really appreciate the questions, and I will answer your questions honestly and fulfill it as much as I possibly can. And I love messaging you guys and talking story with you guys, because this is fun to me to be able to share with you guys, because I didn't have any mentors when I first started here in Hawaii. There was no one to look up to in Hawaii. There's no one scaling this business and doing large like we've been doing. And so it's great to be able to provide that to you guys, because I know how scary, money in this business can be. So thank you guys, and aloha, and have a great day. Aloha.